Yeah, so we're gonna get right into this first topic. Um, why do you think women are having a hard time finding a man? What do y'all? What's your thoughts on that?
Anybody want to go first?
I can go. Now, especially in New York, women are making more than men. So
Is that
women are look.
statistically true?
Yes, actually, I can't. I could pull it up, but I can't remember the
You
stats.
might need the stats on that one, but go ahead, go ahead.
No problem. Women are making more than men now, and women are looking for hypergamy. So, and women are education wise, they're graduating colleges. The stats show that. I don't know the exact stats.
Mm,
So, um, they're looking for men that makes more than them, more educated than them, taller than them. They're looking for like that top percentage of men, and it's a really small percentage. They don't want to compete for that man either. So
mm,
yeah.
I feel like women are not finding a man they want, and I feel like it's mostly because like nobody's willing to wait. So everything is here, everything is now. And we have in mind, I want the house or the picket fence, or I want this kind of man. And then, Peter from up the block comes along and he's nice, he got swag, he look good or whatever. So you know what I mean? You're gonna be distracted by whatever's going on. You don't want to be lonely, or having a relationship seems like the end thing. So I feel like everybody just goes along with whatever's going on, not kind of settling but compromising
Hmm.
what it is that they really want in order for the right now.
okay.
I would say, uh, I feel like based off where we are in society, a lot of women are more so masculine, and a lot of men are becoming more feminine because of that. And that's really the main reason.
Okay.
I also want to add to that. That's true.
Oh,
It's I won't call it settling either. I will call it like compromising, and women just want the men to come with it. They don't want to build with men nowadays because of opportunities that women have now. They have even like with corporate positions, like they will hire a black educated woman over a black educated man. So I just feel like women just want more now because they're being offered more. If
But
that
you
makes
also
sense.
said they're not willing to compete. So even if they say they want that upper echelon dude, right?
Hmm.
But you're not willing to compete for him. You just stand around waiting?
What's the competition though? Like,
I mean, obviously we're going to have to compete if you want a better person, right? He's going to have other options, just like good women are going to have multiple options as well, right? So at some point, somebody's going to compete. So if you like, oh, hey, I look good, and there's like 50 other women that look good that's still talking to him, and you just want him to pick you, you got to compete somehow, right? For him to acknowledge you over the other 50 women that's there.
I don't know that I
I
believe
was.
that. Go ahead.
It is a competition, but when you say competition, women take it as, oh, I'm not competing. But when in reality, it is like if you want that top percent man, no, you are competing because they have this thing like, oh, I'm the prize and I also can bring this to the table. So then it's just like, that's really how they ended up single with that attitude that they have, in my opinion.
well, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a competition. I think like if I know a guy has options, I'm not gonna say, oh, it's me versus her and her and her. It's just me, and I'm
Right.
showing up to
Right.
however whatever I bring, and
Mhm.
that's how. But to him, it's a competition because he's the one that's choosing. But I'm not
Right.
looking at you.
Yeah.
I'm only worried about me and
Right.
how I'm coming.
Yeah, I mean that's regardless how you look at it, you're still competing at some form, and
Hmm.
to the
Yeah.
point about what you said, women are hypergamous by nature. That's understandable. So again, when 80% of the women want the 20% of men, and then y'all keep disqualifying men. So now y'all want him to be a high earner. Not only do we got to be a high earner, he has to also be a certain height. Not only does he have to be a certain height, he has to be good in bed. Not only has to be, you get what I'm saying. So y'all keep shortening the list as much as low as possible, and then when it comes down to like, okay, well, realistically, you guys are looking at 2% of all men of all ethnic groups. Now it's like, how am I going to go get that man if that's the man that you truly want? How are you going to set yourself aside from the other women that also want that? Because on the show, every episode, we got women talking about the same things in the men. He got to be a high earner. He got to be 6 feet. every woman
Mhm.
universally wants
know
these
why
same
that
type
is.
of men. So therefore, you have to differentiate yourself from that competition. Whether you want to look at it as her, and her. At some point, you have to realize, hey, this is the quality of man I want for my life, and
Mhm.
I have to prove or separate myself from the other women or show what I could offer best, so that way he could choose me.
But am I allowed to ask you questions?
I would-
Because I want to know, like, how do you, like, you're not a woman, obviously, but how are we supposed to say, okay, he has all these options, so I'm gonna make myself the better choice? I'm just a piggyback, off of what she said. It's like, what more can I do except for be the best version of myself that I can be? I feel like it's his choice at the end of the day. He has a bunch of options. That's like deciding what you want to wear today. So you're going to decide based on what event you're going to or what the weather is or, whatever like that. And so, that's how you make your decision. I'm assuming that's how a man makes his decision, whatever his priorities are, whatever his likes and dislikes are, and whatever woman brings that to the table, for the most part, I feel like that's who he's gonna choose. I don't know how I would, get up in the morning and say, I'm I'm gonna be um the best person so that he could choose me.
But you have to ask, not to cut you off, King, but
Mhm.
the thing is, women have to understand what men want, especially these high earning men, these high value men, quote unquote.
Mhm.
You got to understand what is it that he wants in a significant other. You get what I'm saying? Once you figure that out, then you can start to, all right, well, these are, I could help in these areas, or I have this to offer. You get what I'm saying? Like, I find it interesting that women will compete. I say this all the time. Women will compete in every asset of her life, whether it's her career, whether it's
School.
her education. She knows exactly how to compete for those. But when it comes to a man, now all of a sudden we confused, or why should I have to compete for that? Like, y'all compete for your job,
Mhm.
that new position that you got at work that you had to interview for. You made sure you was the best candidate for that position, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Put
I
extra shit
have
on your
something to
resume.
say. I get what you were saying too as well. I just feel like as long as you're staying true to yourself, while you're doing it, that's all that matters. And also, sometimes we may think that we're giving our best, but in his eyes, we're not. So, like you were saying, just like you can kind of ask him, like, well, what is it that you want? Like, I guess women don't tend to ask a man what it is that he wants.
Mhm.
So you be open to asking, like, what it is that you want. If you can give it, then you try your best giving it, but just stay true to yourself while doing it. Don't step out of character doing it. You
Yeah,
get me?
I was gonna say that to me that goes on like an individual basis,
Mhm.
unless we want to say that all men are the same. So, it would have to be this individual man, and like she said, what does he like? What is he into? Because every man that's 6 feet in a six-figure tax bracket, I don't think they all have the exact same wants and needs.
Yeah,
And so,
but that's your job to figure that out.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
What's your thoughts on this?
All right. Now, when you think about what women ask for, right? Like you were saying just now, if you want somebody who's 6 feet or better, what are you talking about 15% of men?
Right.
And then let's say you put that stat together with somebody who makes six figures, right? You already look what you did with the percentage. You just cut that in half before you take into consideration his marital status, whether he has a personality, whether he's ugly, whether he's well
Treat you
endowed.
right,
You
like,
know what I'm saying? Like there's
yeah.
so many factors that, so you're looking at what, like 1% of men. Now, social media has given access to these men. So females have access to them. They'll be in the DMs and they're going to not stop at a 10 just because they might be considered a 10 by women. They're going to go all the way down to a 3 or 4 or whatever. And once women get with that guy, they now feel like this is their type. And they don't understand why he's not taking her into consideration for a long-term relationship. He's just doing a flyby, and that's about it. And another reason that we have is females bring what they perceive as value to men, but it's not necessarily that. So they think that their education sometimes is valuable to a man. A man that's up there like that, he doesn't care because he doesn't need your money. He doesn't have access to your money. He generally doesn't have use for your money. So your education and the money that you bring is valuable for you personally. That's great. but it doesn't bring the same type of value to a relationship.
Yeah, that's true. I think oftentimes, sometimes women lead too much with that instead of showing other qualities that they could offer a man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they would rather show that they strong, independent, don't need no man, instead of, hey, well, this is the type of woman I am. This is what I could offer in a long-term successful relationship. These are the qualities I could offer. Sometimes it's just too much leading with, we make money. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
and then
agree.
I also think like it's like okay, they have like ill intent behind it, but I don't want to say ill intent. Probably have some weird like intent behind it though, because they lead with saying, "Oh yeah, I have money, I can bring this to the table," but it's never I can contribute to the table. You get it?
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
that goes back to his point, while men
yeah.
generally don't care about a
Mhm.
woman's earning potential. Like, there's other factors that is more significant to us that we actually care about, because like I said, that money is not our money. We don't got access to it, and if we do ask for access to it, then it comes, oh, he's some bum ass, you know what I mean? He broke. Like, why he asking for my money? Like, we always hear a woman
why?
a woman
Don't
will
do
always
that.
say, like, a man's money is my money and my money is my money. Like, that sounds crazy. Like, to anybody
don't
else,
believe
that
in
would
that.
sound crazy. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I think, that's maybe why some women aren't finding the man that they want, is because, number one, you guys are looking at this few percentage of men that qualify for y'all, basically, and then y'all not willing to compete for that set of men, because there's women out here that competing for men. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if there's a LeBron James that's walking through, you best believe she put on her best effort. She coming with the right amount of fem. She knows how to, what qualities will, attract that man. Like, you know what I mean? So, and her right, she is competing for him. Like, you get him. She's the first one showing up at the club. She's making sure she's getting his attention. Her cleavage is out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ass is poking out. She doing what she got to do to be seen. Like, you get what I'm saying? So that inherently is a form of competing. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, anything else you wanted to add, Keem?
No, I think they pretty much.
I do want to say one more thing. I think a lot of women chase the man that they're not even qualified for. So they see a man with great potential, they chasing him, and he not even looking at you because you not what he want, and you not trying to give him what he want. You just want to chase him because he's what everybody else wants. So he might not be on your level, and a lot of women waste their time on a dude that's not worth their time. So they spend 10 years trying to build somebody up that they should have just left the fuck alone in the first place. So, you know what I mean? It's a lot of wasted time, and you need to find out, I don't want to say levels, but if you know you can present this much to a man, and you trying to get, like how we always say, people like to go to the extreme and go for LeBron James, but you mediocre, I hate, or average. He's not looking for that per se, maybe, but the nice guy right next to you, you just walking right past him because you busy chasing LeBron James.
I just want to say, like the whole cliche idea about the 6 feet thing, that could be part of the reason why a lot of us are single or not finding the right man. I feel like, kind of agreeing with you guys to a certain extent. How somebody treats you is good. If you're equally yoked, like you can't be in a relationship with someone just because they make a certain amount of money or just because they are a certain height. They could be batshit crazy, or you guys may not make a good connection, and some people choose to, like you said, stay in unhealthy situations because of a stat.
Definitely.
And I just want to add one last thing. Also, going off of what you were saying, some women feel like they don't want to settle, and that's just that. Like, and they don't realize like men will settle in one area if the woman has every other thing, if she brings every other thing to the table. Like, men will step down in beauty if she brings every other thing he needs at the table, and
Agreed.
women, they don't want to step down in nothing at
Right.
all. So that's why they're having
I don't
trouble.
even look at
having-
that
You
as
have to
settling. I
compromise.
feel like I found my partner. You
Well,
get
not
what I'm
settle,
saying?
like
Yeah.
compromising. Like,
Compromising,
they don't
yes,
want to have
definitely.
any type of compromise.
Yeah.
Yeah, women are. I mean, men are way, compromise way more as far as when it comes to relationships than women. Women just be stuck on that list.
And
He's
that's
right
it.
though.
Yeah, you check 9 out of 10, but it's not 10 out of 10. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna keep doing my Sierra's prayer and keep waiting for that dude to come around. He ain't gonna come around. Like, I'm
But
gonna tell you that.
how they say they want a loyal man, but if that man making that that much money with that height. He could cheat all he want. They still sticking with that shit. You know what? Get to the next up. I ain't gonna talk.
Don't
apologies.
even open
That's
I
a
ain't trying-
whole different
I ain't trying to
subject.
start
Yeah,
no fights,
don't even
man.
open up.
So
the
y'all
door for
don't
that.
y'all don't think that people should have a basis of what they want out of a person? Y'all think like just chuck it up completely?
Those
Mm.
standards shouldn't change because he's more successful.
Well, I never said that. I'm saying in general,
We
though,
ain't
'cause
saying
that's
that you
I
shouldn't,
get what he's
but
saying.
it should be. You should be willing to compromise. You know what I mean? If
I'll
somebody's checking
compromise
off most of your
one
boxes.
over the list if he has everything else.
What's
So-
I will make a compromise.
So if your man is rich, he can he cheat? But if he's poor, he can't. I'm just saying that's kind of sounds like what you
No,
were.
I shouldn't have said that. I'm gonna just keep. I'm gonna keep it.
Well, no, I'm not
keeping
saying that, but you're saying that. I'm trying to say in general, everyone has what they want out of a person. We all have different things.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it really comes down to what you value the most out of the things that you have on your list. So like if a man, for example, has a lot of boxes, but one is like he really values getting good head from somebody. If she doesn't do that, and that's the most valuable thing, he's always gonna be looking for more because she didn't fulfill that one thing that's the most valuable. So you don't think that
But
y'all
what
should in
else?
general
I
have
agree with
qualities?
that. I can't feel it. I agree with that point.
Wait,
But
y'all
I
don't
can't
agree
miss
that
that.
we should
I'm
have
sorry.
have some standard, you have some type
But
of
genuinely,
list?
if good head is your deal
That was
breaker,
an example,
right?
but yeah.
But she got fire pussy. He gonna be like, I could just, know what I mean, take a little head and fuck. Know what I mean, I'd be alright. That's what I'm saying. He'd be willing to compromise more.
okay.
Yeah, if she has the other qualities that makes him happy or that he values, most
Yeah.
men will, overlook that. You get what I'm
Teach
saying?
She
Like,
cooking, cleaning.
If she
you know
willing
what
to
I mean?
learn with bad
Yeah.
head, then we
Right.
gonna
Yeah.
go to
That's
that.
all I'm
saying.
Yeah.
You willing to
You can
learn,
learn.
mama?
That's what I was about to say. Just she can learn how to do. She can watch videos.
But recently we had a video where was talking about a woman. She was like, if you got a good man, but he not funny. And she was like, you got a good man, pay your
good man
bills,
is
take
not
care of
funny.
you,
funny.
treat you
I'm a little
good,
funny.
but he not
It's
Eddie
okay.
Murphy, so you can't be with him. So I was
Nah.
like, yo,
It's not good enough.
That's
you know what I'm
that's
saying? Like,
not. I don't think that's that serious.
It's not that serious.
All right.
But like
I mean,
you
you can't
said,
be
man, that's
super
your deal
boring,
breaker. I
though,
mean,
like-
Everyone has their different things. We can't judge
Right.
you,
That's
know?
right. No, she's
It's
right.
up to you
You
to say,
can't
I'm
You
just
want
doing
judge.
to
that.
laugh your whole life? Like, I don't care about laughing. your
She's
whole
Well,
life.
that's her, though.
I
That's
do.
her,
Laughter is
though.
medicine, but you don't have to be a comedian.
Laughing is
Right.
medicine. Go watch some TV.
word.
I just think that more people have to be, men and women just have to be more realistic about,
Yes.
because
That's
For
the
sure,
key
yeah.
word right there.
like
Both.
if we look at the economy this ain't your grandparents. Like our grandparents was working factory jobs and still being able to afford houses and another family.
Two
and all-
families,
like, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Working these are not educated degree. We talking about factory jobs, and they was able.
Right.
Now because of inflation, most likely the average person is going to need two incomes to support a family. Like not
And your
one.
kids.
Yeah, not one person is not gonna be able to support family plus kids. Like that's just unrealistic. Like you get what I'm saying? So as long as you value certain things like family and happiness and all those other things, I think you're gonna be good. But if you just keep going off of girl, don't settle, and that's what's being pushed into a lot of people's head is just don't settle. The God will find you. We always going to pray about it. God he gonna come to your front door.
Yeah, that's
It's
when
not how it works, man.